So to be honest, this question is very challenging because there's no one moment I can say for sure that was really the best, because for 2 years now since I've done Trinity, I can definitely say that every day has something special and something to offer, and that's pretty much the best part of the job. But for this year, I'd say the one moment was our trip to Fort York, because after we went through the Fort York, I feel that is when Sandra and Alan had left us to go do some paperwork, but the entire group stayed back and we all decided to go to lunch together. And I think that's really when we all started to open up to each other and kind of bond with each other. And that's kind of when everything really started and Trinity started to move into motion. And that's my best memory, because that's really when everyone came out of their shell and we knew that Trinity was going to be great this summer.
Okay. Okay, so my name is Ria. I'm 16 years old. I forgot.
I'll let someone else go. It's good. Your name's Ria. You're 16 years old. This is my first summer working. I'm, with the Rexdale crew.
Okay. Now?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, my name is Ria. I'm 16 years old. This is my first summer working, and I'm from the Rexdale crew. I made a bond with a lot of people at Trinity Theatre, and I got to find out that I can relate to a lot of the people I work with, and I have a lot of similarities with them, whereas before I didn't know. I thought I was very odd and I didn't fit in with people, but here I got to explore a lot of new things.
How does it feel to meet other
It feels really good, actually. It feels like I'm in a bigger world, and I'm not clogged in one small spot where everyone is the same. Here everything's so different and diverse, and it's really nice.
So it's really hard pinpointing one specific thing that would be my favorite memory, because we've done so many amazing things, things I usually would never think of doing. So it's really hard to pick one specific thing. Jan mentioned I got to know him a lot better. We used to work in clubs and everything together, but we'd never talk. And now we were put into the situation where we had to work together, and it was really good to know him. It was really good to get to know him and to know how he thinks. And also meeting everybody else. It's so good to meet people who think differently than you, and it helps you grow as a person, and it helps them grow as a person, because they're also exposed to different people. My favorite thing though that we did would definitely have to be the walking tours. Just seeing how much effort all the groups put in throughout the whole month. It was just every other day we'd be in our own town working, and it was really good to see the end result and to see everybody's kind of final product. Getting to know more about not only where I go to school, but where I live, and also Malvern. It's just really good to see that there's so many people who are so caring and willing to help and make the community better, and it kind of gives you hope that there are still really good people out there.
Honestly, it actually is really hard to think of a favorite memory working at Trinity, because I can think of a lot of times where at that moment I would have been yeah, this is the best so far. For example, having our group sessions with Trinity, where everybody participates and shares their opinion on something pretty controversial. Those are always fun. And then in the car with my team, debating on music and food and what we're gonna do and being stressed together, that's always really fun as well. I guess my favorite memory though would probably be our Weston walking tour, because it was really stressful to get everything to come together, and on the day of the walking tour there were a lot of uncertainties about what's going to happen, but everything fell into place and our group worked really well together to make sure that everything was going smoothly. So even though there were some bumpy parts of the tour, I don't think anyone could tell because we worked so well to, you know, cover it up. So that was probably my favorite memory, but like the entire summer has been great.
Counterintuitive question, because I find my experience at Trinity wasn't about specific moments per se, but rather as a cohesive whole. What Trinity has done for me as a group, and how it's helped me as an individual, and how I managed to see my impact on others in the community. So in that regard, I absolutely cannot pick a specific moment, but rather I would say it was about meeting new people. It was about getting to know the people I was working with and working with them to achieve a common goal, and learning about the Malvern community and how robust it is, and teaching that to other people in Malvern who weren't already aware of how beautiful and how resource-filled the area is. So in that regard, yes, absolutely. I think it was the experience of getting to know and getting to disperse information was my favorite part of working at Trinity Theatre. It was both informative but also deeply human.
I'm gonna say, as always, my favorite part of Trinity is meeting new people and getting to know them, working with different kinds of attitudes, and just building my circle more. But event-wise, I cannot pick my favorite place. I cannot pick one specific moment. The whole thing as a whole was magnificent. I could not, and I would not change anything at all.
Can you repeat the question? Thank you so much. I literally came in with like no expectations. I was like, okay, I don't know what's gonna happen. Like, I was just like, whatever. But then when you come in, you like start to realize like, yo, these people talk about real things that happen to everyone, and like this whole group has a certain thing about them. They're all just so like they're so woke. Like they think and like they analyze and they have conversations about things that are so important. And even my brother, he said like this entire group, like when he came in, he was like, dude, it's amazing. That's my brother, not me. I totally agree with what he had to say about the type of people that we work with, and the work that we do is so important. And I was so happy to like have a new relationship with Sandra and Alan as well, because like in school you don't really get to know them, but like here you got to know them and see their perspective, and it kind of makes it like you take things from them, like all the good things, like things like, oh, I love when Alan says 1 + 1 = 3, and I think it's like it's funny, but then when you actually start to think about it, it's so like real. Like what we talk about and what we do is so real and like needed.
I don't know if I'm allowed to say that, but this whole thing's pretty lit, you know. It's really fun. The directors are really cool. Alan's very philosophical, and Sandra's very a nice, genuine person, and she also, I guess you can say, philosophical, even though Alan usually does the talking. In terms of getting paid, that's just like, I guess, icing on the cake. That's right. That's right. Because like we're touring the city, so that's fun in general, and then you're getting paid as well. So it's pretty nice. It's fun.
Why is touring the city fun?
Because there's a lot of places that I haven't gone yet, and we aren't like touring places that we've already been. Like, let's go to CN Tower. That'd be fun. You know, that's boring. Everyone's been there already. Same with like, you know, the Rogers Center. They take us to places where you wouldn't necessarily go like regularly. Like when we went to the Mounted Police, I wouldn't go there. No, wouldn't think of going there. Same with like Cam H. I would never go there either. So That's pretty fun.
I am really fond of, I guess, a memory with my team where it was our first day splitting up into our teams, so my team's Rexdale, and I wasn't really sure how to carry out my role as a leader because I had never done the two things that we were trying to work towards, which was a walking tour and a community forum. And my team had a little bit more experience doing work like that, and so I wasn't so sure how to approach it, but it was really exciting, and I really put myself out there, and over the course of, I guess, the summer, I learned so much from them. And it was such a successful couple of events that we had last week, and to see how my team grew and contributed and just their initiative and their hearts for their communities was amazing. Apart from that, I would have to say I really enjoyed visiting the Mounted Police Unit and the horses there. They were really fun to kind of see and to learn about through the officer who was talking about his job. That was really cool.